Hello, good morning, everyone. So we are delighted to welcome you all to the second edition of Talking Galleries in New York, in collaboration with Schwartzman and. My name is Llucià, and I'm the founder and director of Talking Galleries. Well, it's a project that was born in 2011 in Barcelona as the first international think tank for gallerists. It's an open platform dedicated to generating debate and knowledge in the field of gallery practices and the art market. The project has evolved and enlarged its vision to become a space to debate contemporary culture and art practices. At a moment of unique disruption and change, it's more important than ever to have such a space, as art can provide us with the tools to understand, voice, and express the current state of affairs in the art world. Talking Gallery generates the space and the momentum for a conversation about contemporary culture and the future of art practices. It's important for us that this is an open project for the benefit of the entire community. All contents generated in the context of every single Talking Gallery symposium are accessible for free on our website. Talking Galleries in New York could not have been possible without the partnership, dedication, and generous support of Allan Schwartzman and his team. Thank you, Allan, for another edition here. Thank you also to the team at Schwartzman for their engagement and dedication, Claire Robertiello, Senior Director at Schwartzman's, Meredith Kirk, and Kat Sensning. A special thanks to Lauren Randolph, Programming Director for this New York edition. Similarly, this edition would not have been possible without our sponsor. So thank you to Cadawan Tate for generously supporting the event, specifically to their CEO, Duncan Orange, who is joining us from South Africa, and their Chief Growth Officer, Vincent Zakowski, who is speaking tomorrow on sustainability in art logistics. Thank you also to Tishman Speyer and the team at the Spiral for their generosity in allowing and to use this fabulous space today and tomorrow. In particular, thank you to Aimee Drame, Sarah Berget, and Alexander Ande. I would like to thank our exclusive media partner, Art News, in particular to Sarah Douglas and Erica Lubo. Thank you to my own team, led by Sol Garcia, Talking Galleries General Coordinator. I would like to thank all the speakers and attendees for being here this morning. I hope you enjoy all the discussions. Now, I will turn it over to Allan Schwartzman. Allan needs no introduction because he's a tastemaker in contemporary art, an authority in the art market, and widely respected independent curator. Over to you, Allan.
Thank you, Llucià. Oh, it just magically turned on. I don't think I'm going to look at my notes. There are basically 2 points I wanted to make this morning. Is Roberta here?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It's on deadline.
Got it. So I want to tell a story. I used to be an art writer. And I tended to write mostly about the intersection of art and the market. And before many people were doing so. I had written a piece on an exhibition at the Guggenheim Museum, which was intended to be a celebration of 10 years of exhibitions they had mounted of young artists from various parts of the world. Each version had a different geography. And in this 10th edition, they were showing artists from each of those exhibitions. It was a series that was sponsored by Exxon, I believe. And what they didn't say was that Exxon was withdrawing their funding. And this was the final year of it. So when I wrote it up, I referred to it as a retrospective of corporate funding. Or the first retrospective of corporate funding. When Roberta Smith reviewed the exhibition in the New York Times, I should say, Roberta reviewed the exhibition, she quoted that particular line of mine, and the very next time I showed up at an art event, I think it was probably an opening of Sherry Levine, probably 10 people ran up to me and congratulated me for being written up in Roberta's column. Nobody commented on what I said or what I'd written. None of these people had previously recognized that I was a writer or acknowledged it. And so it was an interesting lesson in power in the art world, and sometimes to our focus on the wrong things, and at the exclusion of the content. And so I bring this up simply because we are in a very challenged time in many ways, particularly when it comes to the written word. It's a huge problem for the arts, both in terms of venues and revenue and scope of what's written. I stopped being an art writer in the late 90s because I realized I could no longer support myself from my work. And so I had to find something else. And fortunately, it landed in my lap. But it was a tough moment because in my mind, I'm still a writer. And so I'm grateful that we're able to bring all these speakers to you today, particularly at this critical moment. And I look forward to what it is that they have to say. I would simply add to that this is called Talking Galleries. You will notice there are very few galleries represented on the roster. It's not because they were not invited. I'm grateful to those who will be serving on panels, but most said no. And so it's a complex time in every single way within our field and within the world. And it's a time of demands for change. It's a time of inevitable change. A lot of the causes are all problems, but there are many people actively involved in trying to move things forward in a productive and enlightened way. And the people represented on the panels here today are such people. So thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much, Llucià and Saul, for being our partners and inviting us to participate with them. Thank you especially to Loring, without whom this would not exist at all. And everyone else has been thanked. So thank you all very much. Enjoy the day.
Good morning, everybody. So nice to see all of you here today, especially all of our friends and colleagues in the room. As Allan mentioned, my name is Loring Randolph. I'm the director of the Nancy A. Nasher and David J. Hamasiger collection, and I'm honored to have been asked for a second time to direct Talking Galleries in New York in collaboration with Llucià Holmes and Sol Gallan from Talking Galleries in Spain, and obviously Allan. Allan, thank you so much for the opportunity, and thank you so much to your team for all their support. Thank you for coming and for supporting all of the people who are speaking today. And thank you also to the speakers and the moderators. It's not a small ask to get people up here to share their wisdom with everybody. It takes time, so we're very much indebted to them today. Over the next few days, we're going to hear from these people who are the tastemakers and cultural producers of our industry. They are writers and art critics, artists, curators, business, and institutional leaders, and they will discuss topics both broad and focused that hold incredible value to our understanding of each other and to the arts. Topics will include contemporary art in the media, the difficulty of maintaining a unique vision for a gallery in an increasingly commercial marketplace, artificial intelligence and its effects, new models of progressive philanthropy and the challenge of securing the financial future for public institutions, the newfound autonomy and power of artists, sustainability and art logistics, the art market today, the hubs of Paris and Mexico City in our landscape, and more. So a couple of housekeeping things. You all got a tote bag. Inside your tote bag is a little booklet that outlines the program over the next few days. This will include also all of the discussions that will happen tomorrow, which include artists like Jamie and Giuliano Villani, Alvaro Barrington, Carla Kaplan, Victor Barragan, and others. Carla and Damien actually have exhibitions up now in New York, at Gagosian in Chelsea, and Francis Urban Tribeca, so please do make it to see those if you have a chance. If you've not done so already, please silence your cell phones. We are filming, and it would be great if ringtones didn't go off during the talks. You're obviously welcome to take photos, but if you do so, please be mindful of the people around you. And please, if you can refrain from videoing the conversations, there will be videos available of all of the talks here today and tomorrow online for free for anyone to view after the conference. We're going to, just in terms of schedule, we're going to have a brief coffee break at 12:50, and that's going to be about 15 to 20 minutes to allow for the setup of Bina48, who is our first Android speaker at Talking Galleries. I'm very excited to hear from her today. And then later we're going to have a light lunch from 2:25 to 3:30, and this is when you're going to be able to also view the eclipse. There are eclipse glasses in your bags. We're really hoping that we're going to be able to see it from this incredible view in this room. If you choose to go downstairs, please do come back up by 3:15 so we can continue with the program. There is a little observation deck also here off to the left, but we would appreciate it if only about 15 people will go outside at a time. Now, I'm extremely excited to introduce our first conversation. Contemporary Art in the Media is moderated by Matthew McLean, Creative Director of Free Studios in London. Matthew is also a writer and editor and has been published in titles including Art Agenda, Art List, Art Monthly, Art Review, Flash Art, Frieze, and others. He is also the editor of the quarterly magazine Frieze Week. And I had the pleasure of working with Matthew when I was at Frieze, and I can attest to his brilliance. So thank you so much, Matthew, for being with us today. He is going to talk with 4 esteemed art critics, and I'm going to turn it over to him to introduce the conversation in more detail and our speakers today. Thank you so much.